Well, I took note of something. I used to pull up on Google and I used to put Putin the Cat or Putin Cat, and I'd say, wow, man, my cat is pulling up on Google left and right. But ever since Putin drew that cat, it don't pull up no more. And I said, huh, maybe the Kremlin is taking note, hey? Anyway, now I'm noticing there's all kinds of cats out there with Putin's name, and I guess they don't want to they don't want information coming out from my cat, the good old American Putin version, the real Putin, the one that should be taking over the globe sometime. But anyway, when Putin drew that cat from the behind, which looked like an upside down vagina to me, but I don't know what the hell he was drawing there, it seems like that's taken all the news. So the KGB has taken note. And I must be putting some kind of information out there that they don't like. Because not only did he draw a cat, but there's more cats out there with, Putin cat and, all this kind of crap. And there's a gazillion of them out there all of a sudden. So, and I noticed, my cat don't come up on Google like they used to. So anyway, interesting, huh? Anyway, coming up for October 17th, this is going to be a big date, and it's about the debt ceiling. Now, somebody remarked about October 18th to the 21st with the half moon. I don't really think all that stuff is snake oil with the half moon and astrology. Sometimes, there's things that go on with the planets that somehow influence life. Actually, if you want to get on this, I'm digressing here a little bit, but if you like, actually, you can take it as a scientific fact. There's several times more matter out there than the stuff that we can actually measure and see. They call it dark matter. There's other influences that go on in the world, a lot of different things. So, sometimes when things are going on astrologically, sometimes maybe they are influencing events here, even though we don't notice it in subtle ways, maybe. But it's interesting that half moon prediction around the 18th to 21st, something could possibly really happen then, is right after this October 17th, 2013 deadline for raising the debt ceiling, where they basically drew the line in the sand. Now, what could happen is this. They're not going to default on the debt. But then again, if they don't fund the government, what are they going to stop funding? Social Security, Medicare, I don't know, something. I have no idea what they're going to do. I have no idea. So, and also Obama could, by executive order, considering that maybe it's an emergency, raise the debt ceiling, although he's not allowed to do so because he's the executive branch of the government versus the legislative branch, whereas the Congress has the power to do so. But let me put it to you this way. If there's a crisis like that, and they're talking about, not even changing the debt rating, this could be a major, major crisis. It's not a joke. I know there's a lot of people always telling you there's a crisis every freaking day. There's a lot of people saying there's a crisis. This is it. The sky's going to fall. Have gold, hold silver, and all this kind of garbage every single day. And, I say it, but I know it's coming up. I mean, I'm not like on edge all the time. But this might be something where if the government looks like it can't handle the debt, or it's not going to meet its obligations somehow, or it's got to cut back severely, it's more than just shutting down the government. It's actually taken away from the future outlook of the USA as a strong, to meet its obligations, as a strong financial government that can meet its obligations. Although we know this, but it's also going to bring it out to the forefront. And maybe that's going to raise interest rates on the bonds, maybe, and that could really make gold start flying up. It could kill the markets too. Maybe that George Soros bet, I think it's going to come about in October. But now that I look at this date, the October 17th date, and what was told about the lunar, where there's possibly some kind of something's going to happen in the October 18th to 21st. October 17th deadline, that all fits with that lunar thing too. I don't exactly ignore it, I don't exactly ignore that stuff, although I don't look into it too deeply because it's a whole other field that I'd have to study a great deal to even get into 101 aspects of it. But I'm aware that some of that stuff is actually legit. I'm aware that some of it is legit. But anyway, it looks like something's coming up, and you know, I can't guarantee it, but that would all fit. That would all fit perfectly. You know, the October month, typically when the markets get clobbered, the lunar thing, 18th to the 21st, there's something supposedly going to happen then. The October 17th deadline, which is real, which is a lot more, has a lot bigger implications than just the shutting down the government. It has a lot more implications. There's a lot of things that can come out of this, and it could be where the outlook, the financial outlook of the United States is going to be changed, you know, from now on, which means interest rates could be rising. You know, not by the hand of the Federal Reserve, but by, you know, the market itself. You know, then people are going to start dumping more bonds. That could be. It looks likely. It looks likely. But anyway, looks like my cat, Putin the Cat, has been noticed by the Kremlin. And, oh well. Anyway, you know, I don't know what my little cat can do. He can't do much. I mean, that's the whole big Russian Empire over there, you know. I don't know what they're worried about. So now they got Vladimir Putin drawing cats' asses on blackboards, getting in the news. And there's all these different posters coming out with Putin the Cat, and, you know, different kinds of different ways. And other than I put it out there, because and maybe they didn't like what I was putting out about, you know, showing up what he's really about, which is the guy's a dictator and a crook. Okay? It's really what it comes down to. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's no better than anybody in the West. I mean, people in the West are like running from the West to this guy like he's a hero to save people. You got to run away from all. Well, you don't want to run. You want to stand on your own 2 feet and be independent. You don't want to run. But, you know, just understand that, you know, meet the old boss, new boss, same as the old boss, same kind of garbage. You know, you're not getting a real change there. The actual change is going back to the Constitution of the United States. That will be what actually change is. And money should go back to regular silver, you know, pure silver, or 90% silver, like we used to have. And, you know, the money supply won't be as flexible, but, hey, you know, that's a little bit less to put up with than what we got today, because there's too many shenanigans that can come about when, you know, they can expand the money supply through credit at will, because there's too much of a temptation, you know, to do so. And we know the game. The Federal Reserve basically lends money to the government, which pays it back with interest. So, I mean, they shouldn't be the ones creating money. It should be the Congress. And if people vote to create more money and it creates inflation, well, they voted inflation. They'll figure it out. But it's school of hard knocks. You know, but we need to get that power right back into the Congress. You know, Ron Paul talks a good story about all this stuff, but it ain't that easy. And, you know, I guess when we're talking about owning silver or something like that that's making you more independent, that's one step. You want to do a lot of steps. You want to know, you want to be independent in a lot of different ways and go back to old school, the way the United States used to be. And also, that's a big thorn in the side to the Russian elite, because, you know, they want to own you, get your ass all the way. And if you're independent, they can't do it. There's going to be a crisis sometime in the United States, and people are going to demand change. And they already got a trap set for you. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's typically the modus operandi, how it works. So, you know, you want to stand firm with the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and the only way to do that is to actually be independent in a true sense. And silver is one part of that independence. But just watch that date of when they're talking about the, you know, I think, you know, the person that gave that to me about the lunar calendar, that something might happen between the 18th and 21st. You know, I'm looking at factual stuff, October 17th being this deadline for the budgets and raising the debt ceiling. This is a real big deal, man. It's not over just shutting down the government. There's a lot of stuff that can come out of it. And if it looks like the United States, you know, it's recognized publicly that the financial status of the United States is being diminished and it's having that many problems, you're going to see the interest rates go up, and you're going to see the dollar go down, and ergo, you're going to see silver, well, especially gold, to start going up, and you'll see silver go up. And maybe maybe, I don't know, just maybe, that's when they'll start diverting the attention of the public away from domestic problems and go to war. Right? Isn't that usually the game? I don't know. But it's a guess. It's a guess. I'm not trying to, get people all worked up or anything like that. But I think it's a decent hunch. I think it's a very decent hunch. And so watch out for October, right after October 17th. There may be some major, major implications from this budget raising, the budget deadline, and raising the ceiling deadline. Very major implications. And ignore any other fake Putin the Cats out there. The only one that is a real Putin the Cat is the one that's in the good old USA in Florida. So just remember that.